Hello and welcome. Let me share the stream here. Let me double check. I'm going to put a link to my GoFundMe in the chat. I am going to then go over and share a link to this live stream. Hopefully, I can do that. It's been a minute since I've live streamed, but this should be something that I should be able to share and hopefully get out here so that people will watch. Let's see, get shareable link. Cool. Okay, posted live. Anyways, it's been a minute since I've been live, and I just figured I'd hop on, let you know all what's going on. So, I've been dealing with mental health stuff for a while, anxiety, depression, OCD. Recently tested for ADD and ADHD, and been in therapy on and off for about 3 years now. Back at it for the last several months. And so I have been struggling with some of that stuff, the financial burdens of sessions and of all the likes of not being able to work is I deal with agoraphobia and claustrophobia, and so it's been a bit of a mess with that. I am going to ask that anybody who can help check out the GoFundMe page and also share the streams, share the GoFundMe page, just do whatever you can. And, that would be a great help for me. And, just be supportive of one another as people are going through these journeys, as people are struggling, and as the holiday seasons come up and things like that. You never know what somebody's going through, and you just never know. So, let's talk about tech a little bit. So, as you'll see here, I have acquired an iPhone Air, and been really, really, really enjoying using that, and just enjoying using technology in general. And it's been great so far. It's been a great experience so far, I should say. And just been fun having something a little bit different. So, you know, we each have kind of these devices that we spend our time with. And for me, the iPhone Air just reminded me of the iPhone 11 Pro Max and some of the joys that came from that, and just really brought me back to the good old days of technology, and when devices were all about trying to do everything, trying to be everything, and just got you through the day, got you through spending time off from your phone when you're doing other things. If you need it to be a camera, you pick up a camera. If you want to be on a computer, you use a computer. Yes, I am using, a laptop screen here, and it's not the greatest, but it is what it is. And, so we use our technology that's around us. We do what we can do. And, welcome friends. So for me, the fun thing about the iPhone Air is how thin and light it is. And yes, I have a case on it. It's a tourist case. Videos for these cases and other things will be coming up soon to the channel. I will say that, people that talk about, oh, you don't need to use a case, or why are you using a case when the phone is already that thin? Well, if a case is 2 millimeters thick and weighs so many grams, it's only going to change every device by that same thickness and that same weight. It's not going to matter. The difference is still going to be the difference. And I'm not going to just take a device that's $1,000 to replace and willy nilly carry it around. And oh, yeah, I have Apple Care, but hope that I don't damage it, that I don't cause any issues, that, you know, I do have a screen protector on it, and I've dropped it and had it hit, and the screen protector's protected it, and even the natural screen on it, has withstood stuff until I put the screen protector on it, no little scratches or anything underneath it. Screen brightness is equally as bright um, as, any other, um, of the new iPhones that are out there. The camera, I will say, it only has a single camera, but I have been able to capture some beautiful images. I am a nature photographer. That is what I enjoy doing the most. And, you'll see, like, this is hard to really show on a webcam, but check out my social media. I post on there a lot. And I do have Michael Pepper Photography Instagram, and I'll post on there some of my photos. But I also have Michael Pepper Tech, um, threads and X and Instagram as well. But, I think it's important that we all have an outlet for our creativity. And for me, that is something that helps keep me mentally strong as I deal with a lot of anxiety. It makes it really hard to just be amongst people. And sometimes I just really want to shut down and just, sleep all the time, and I can't do that. So I'm trying to get back to live streaming and being more engaging with the tech community and with people. And so I don't want to just be, out here asking for help. But like I said, if you can donate, check out in the description, there's a GoFundMe. That is the best way I can think of to kind of convey what I've been dealing with and just help raise some funds. I am thinking about getting a cat or a dog, a companion animal. Yes, in there it does say, which is kind of funny, talking about getting like a stuffed one because I deal with allergies, and also where we live, you have to pay an additional fee if you want animals, and there are additional costs to getting one registered. And so I have seen, companion like artificial ones. I also have some literature that I am looking at getting, which it all adds up. I have rent and things like that I'm trying to cover. And I know we're all struggling, and I know that, everybody could use help, but I just figured I'd reach out and I'd do this and use kind of my platform to not only engage with community, but just ask for the help because I know that, you know, we all can use it. And um, so I struggle with asking for help. I think it's a cultural thing. It's kind of I should be working, and I struggle with this idea that I just can't. I go outside and I basically push through to go pick my son up from school, walking to pick him up and walking to drop him off at school. It's only like a third of a mile away. And so I have been looking for work from home positions. So if anybody knows of anything or has any connections, or maybe you work from home, customer service oriented, whatever it is, please share that with me in comments or, DM me on my social medias because, I want to work. I want to provide the financial support and the funds and not have to like ask for help on GoFundMe or for, super chats. That's another way you can help if you would like to through super chats and stuff like that because um it's to me it's a bit embarrassing. It's um a struggle, but I just want people to know that it's a real thing. If you're watching this stream, please comment in the chat. If you're somebody who deals with these struggles, let me know in the live chat. Or if you're watching this afterwards, let me know as well. If there's things you'd like to talk about, if there's technology related things that you'd like my opinion on, if there's questions about the iPhone Air or the Apple Watch Ultra, or maybe like which iPad you think is best for you, or whatever other technology, just kind of spark a healthy conversation in the comment section. That helps, push out these live streams for replay. It helps push out my videos. Check out the content that I post. I've been posting more and more shorts as I just kind of have these little sparks of ideas that I feel like are more oriented towards short form than long form. But let me know if, do you prefer short form or long form? What do you like about my content? Just what types of things would you like people to discuss that maybe people aren't really talking about? Um, if you found my channel and you subscribed, why did you subscribe? Maybe if you're a long time subscriber, um, what particular video, or things of the like, just to be engaging with me and my community. Also, if you want to kind of engage more than just on here, do check out the links in um, my main page for all my different social media. Like I said, I have X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the likes. And I just really enjoy talking about technology and the English language and all sorts of things. And I've been thinking about AI lately, and um, how many of the jobs that I've seen posted are AI related, but they also want people that are like experts in the medical field or the law field. And certain things I'm thinking like those people, if they have those positions, are not going to be looking for a job that's paying like $13 an hour. Um, to have them read over stuff and feed it to AI. Um, I feel like some jobs need to be more reasonable for qualifications. And um, I mean, even like I've been looking at like house cleaning and stuff like that, and people want like somebody who has experience working in a hotel and cleaning, or somebody in management because they want somebody to like manage other cleaners and stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, these positions, like, yeah, there's lots of jobs out there, but being qualified for them, it's like no wonder people apply to like 1,400 jobs and still don't get a position. And you know, for me, it's hard to explain unless you're somebody that deals with anxiety and depression and things like that, because it's like this feeling that you're just hitting against the wall and there's nothing you can do about it. So, I have a question for people in the chat. Do you or anybody you know deal with anxiety, depression, ADD, ADHD? If so, what form is it? What techniques have you used to help yourself or to help your loved one or family member, your friend, whatever, get through it? Um, you know, if you work for a tech company or work in the tech field and you're looking for somebody who's enthusiastic, who's devoted, who is, detail oriented, and hit me up. I can send out my resume. It's been a number of years since I worked in the field. I have been a stay-at-home dad since my son was really young. I have been teaching him for the last 2 years until the school year started up. And so previously to that, I worked in retail at Target, and then before that, I worked at Meyer, and then before that, um, I worked in um, a help desk when I was going to college at Lansing Community College, majoring in photographic imaging or photography. Which before that I was majoring in criminal justice, which I switched programs because the criminal justice program just kind of ran dry. There wasn't a lot of positions available, and I decided it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I love taking photographs of landscapes. I like photographing people. I just find it a little bit overwhelming, and I struggle kind of relating to people. I think it's because I like to talk so much that it can become exhausting to people, and I try to recognize that, but it's really difficult for me to just shut off my brain sometimes. So, finding like minded people through the tech community. I also have another YouTube channel. It's just called Michael Pepper that is mental health focused, but don't qualify to live stream on there yet. That's why I am kind of live streaming on here. Um, Hello, Tech for Your Needs. Hello, Miles. Hello, Joshua. Um, Jimmy Fire Dragon. I'm doing okay. Trying to stay hydrated. Just kind of talking about my mental health journey. Doing a bit of fundraiser. Um, Check that down below. Um, I won't try to push it too much, as I know that can become annoying. But if you're able to help, please do so. If you're able to share, please do so. Um, you can help through the GoFundMe, but also just super chats are welcome. Um, they should be enabled. A matter of fact, I know they're enabled because I can see the dollar sign there. So feel free to do that. Also, in if you're doing a follow up, you can do what are called super thanks and post a comment, and then those get kind of pinned. I will pin those. When I do live streams, I call out super chats. I also do have memberships available if you want to do those. That would be great. That just is like a monthly support for the channel. And as I get more members, I can do member live streams. Right now, I have like one member, so it would be kind of interesting doing a member live stream. Um, my goal is to stream as much as I can now. I know that there are lots of streams to watch and that, people are busy. But if you just want to, put on the stream later and just listen to it and just enjoy whatever I'm talking about, that would be great as well. Um, it's interesting because for the longest time, I was using the OnePlus 13. I have it in black here. Um, Kind of a cheap case on it. I'll take the case off so I can show you guys. But I had the OnePlus 13, and I was using that and the OnePlus Watch 2 for about the last 8.5 months until the new iPhones came out. And I was having issues with the battery life on my OnePlus Watch. And then some features that I was missing, I realized like the ability to control the camera, to record videos, and just some things like that were just missing. Also, having a cellular option, I'm unvisible, so I pay $40 a month for unlimited everything. That includes uh, watch line. And a little bit of a loophole for that is if anybody is on Verizon, and Verizon will have these deals where like they'll give away watches, and then if you have certain plans, you get the plan for half off. But maybe somebody that's on Verizon, but you don't want to add a Verizon line and you're on Visible. Um, Apple Watches aren't locked, so you can be on another carrier and then just use it on whatever carrier you want. So if you know somebody that has a good deal, um, you can then use those, just pair it to your iPhone and use it. So that's what I'm doing. So even though it's under my wife's line, I didn't activate it on there, and I'm just using it over on Visible where I get it for free under the plan that I'm on. And so yeah, paying for the device payments on Verizon, um, but I got a good deal on that, and then the cost is like $7.50 a month if you add a plan on there, which technically um, I can add it to my wife's watch because she has the Ultra 2, which has been unlocked, and got that when that came out like a couple years ago. So just keep in mind, like, Apple Watches aren't locked to the carrier, at least in the United States. And so, that's something that you can take advantage of. Also, if you would like to, I can share. Let me get into my Visible account, because if you're interested in getting good service on the Verizon network and saving money, um, I can provide my code to you guys, and you can join Visible and you get a discount on your first month. And I also get like $20 off a month on my service as well. So let's see here. Copy. Um, what is my code? More. So you get $20 off your first month. I get $20 off. And I will post the code down below for anybody. It should be in the replay for live stream as well. And also, I will try to remember to I post the referral link on my X, my Twitter, my X. You can go check that out. I will try to remember um, to post that often, but I'm posting that. I just posted it just now. You'll see. You can go check that out, and that's a way you can support and kind of knock down one of my costs as well. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. You can save on your plan. The other way to help support the channel is in all of my videos, there is an Amazon Associates generic link. So if you're purchasing things on Amazon's for the holidays, and it doesn't matter if you're in the United States or Canada or what country you're in, you can click through my link and then purchase stuff, and I still get credit for it. It doesn't cost you anything extra. A lot of things will be like 4% or whatever. So if you're buying stuff for family members, buying stuff shop on Amazon, please feel free to partake in that as well. I will post. So here it will be the Amazon Associates link. I will post that in the chat. If you click here, you'll notice that is a generic link. And then anything that you purchase will support the channel. Like I said, membership, super chats, the GoFundMe, Amazon Associates. I also do have a Patreon, which that is also under support the channel on all of my videos. So my most recent video is the iPhone Air Thinborn case. If you click on that video, you'll see where it says support the channel. Amazon Associates and the Patreon you can use to support the channel. Become paid members for those things. I will be doing member only live streams at some point. I also, in the Patreon, I write articles and I post content that will be members only. Um, for some of the stuff, usually what I do is my newest content will be for members only for a certain amount of time, and the older content goes to all people, or Sometimes I do the opposite where, like, if you wanna see my older articles, you become a member, Patreon, and then you can see the older stuff. But lately, I've been kind of setting it so, like, members only for the new stuff. The older stuff is for everybody, so you can kinda see what I post about, and then if you wanna support and you wanna read the newest stuff, you can do that. Um, if you do super chats, YouTube does take their 30%. Um, there's, other ways that you can support, just by watching content, by subscribing, by sharing content, by sharing fundraisers, by sharing the Amazon associate link with family and friends who shop on Amazon. Holidays are coming up. I know people spend a decent amount of money. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. If there's items on my channel that I made videos for purchasing using those affiliate links, some companies I also have discount links with, and you'll see those listed, so you get a discount, but I also get a bit of a kickback. And so, those are the ways. Posting just supportive comments, supporting me, supporting each other. Um, you know, what types of what phone are you using? What technology do you use to help to journal or to draw or to be creative? Just interacting and letting YouTube know, hey, I like this content, or hey, I watched, or letting me know if you watched to the end of content, how far you watched, letting me know maybe you skipped it, maybe you hopped out, and maybe why. Am I talking too slow, talking too fast? You find it boring? Did it put you to sleep? Um, I take the negative and the positive. It's all constructive. It all helps build up character. It all helps kind of build the channel and make things, improve things. And so there's that. Um, I will say, we all deal with our little bit of social quirks. Um, if you like the stream, make don't forget to hit the likes, people. Also, as the holiday seasons are coming, I will be posting content on some of like the chargers that I use um, to charge up my phones and things like that every day. Um, I've actually been using the Apple MagSafe battery pack, and you can get that on Amazon. So I will be making a video on this, but like I said, if you want to purchase anything on Amazon, check out the Amazon Associates. It's in the chat. It's also in the description of like every one of my videos. So you can click on and watch any video, find links to help support the channel there. Things that, like I said, it doesn't cost you any extra. It doesn't cost you really any extra time. You click on that link on anything you purchase, I believe within 12 hours, or no, but within 24 hours of that link. Um, I get credit for it. It pops up. It doesn't cost you anything, and I get it like a 4% or sometimes higher on certain electronics and things like that. If there's cases like 16 Pro Max, 15 Pro Max, 14 Pro Max, 13, whatever iPhone, S25 Ultra, S24 Ultra, like a bunch of different Samsung devices that I've reviewed, some OnePlus devices, some nothing devices. Like I've posted content on cases on different multitude of devices. If you purchase on Amazon or like through banks, I do have a discount code um, with those companies, and so like Michael P15 for 15% off with some of the with banks, I do believe it is. So you can check out the videos and see those links. You get a discount, I get supported. Enough about that. So technology wise, I have kind of dwindled down and gotten rid of a lot of technology. I don't have a MacBook anymore. I've been using I have an iPad Air. M2 iPad Air 13-inch with cellular that I got for the same price as a non-cellular model, um, that I use for watching content. I use it for creating some content, thumbnails, editing videos. I use my iPhone to record shorts if I'm posting content about the iPhone or cases on the iPhone. I will use um, the OnePlus 13 to record. Yes, I use Android, I use iOS, I use both. And, you know, there's no issue with using either one. I don't get why some people feel like you have to be on one side or the other. I think that that's a discussion that needs to be had as well with people. Like, we don't need to be on one side of the fence or the other. We don't need to, um, you know, just feel like, oh, if I use an iPhone, I gotta, hate Android, or if I use Android, I gotta hate iOS. Like, you can use both. I know, it becomes tricky because, Apple watches only work on iPhones, and a lot of the Wear OS watches, there's a lot of watches that only work on Android. There's some watches out there that still work on both. There's like TicWatch and some companies that are making devices that support both. I remember the good old days when Samsung, like with their Gear watches and some of they had the wearable app that worked on iOS, so you could use it on an iPhone. And same thing with like earbuds, and you could update them. Now, they've kind of gotten rid of that. Yeah, you'll still have like the wearable app to update some earbuds, but it's mostly older ones. I had the Buds 3 Pro, um, and they're not getting supported anymore. It's such a shame. Hello, Bonnie. Um, that these companies aren't working on cross-platform stuff when we see, um, the opportunity to do that. Quick share where you can scan a QR code. So even if somebody's using an iPhone, they can, you can share to them from your Android device. Apple is working on something sort of similar where you can, like, they've been working on a method for AirDrop where you can, and there is a way you can do an iCloud link, and you can, text it to somebody or email it, or they can type it in, and then they have, I think it's 30 days that that link will be active for whatever content. So if you're wanting to just share photos, videos, notes, there's a way to do that. For Windows users, there is the iCloud app, um, which allows you to sync your photos and things like that, which is really cool. So I could pull up the photos that I've taken with my iPhone on my Windows device, or like if took a photo on an Android device, I can quick share it to the Windows laptop to that folder, and then that folder syncs to my iPhone. So essentially, however long it takes just for things to download and upload, there are methods. Um, there are videos out there about that. I thought about making my own content about that. So if you guys are curious about like using an iPhone with a Windows device or using Android with a Mac, let me know. There's also ways to do, um, sort of quick share on a Mac. Um, there are utilities out there. Neardrop is great. I like it. Now works both directions. It's just a utility you install. And so you can now share from a Mac to an Android device, or from an Android device to a Mac, which is really, really nice. Um, and it's really quick because it works on from the local network. And the cool thing with that is you don't necessarily have to be signed into the same account, because I know some certain things, like sometimes Samsung's method will require, if you're going to share it to yourself, you have to be logged into the same account. And if you're sharing with other people, like they have to be in your contacts, or it's a limited amount of time, or like file size restrictions can be there in certain methods, like email or like WhatsApp, and certain things will be limited in resolution or come across and remove like HDR functionality will just be sent in standard definition. So there's all that, you know, crazy stuff that really, there's ways you don't have to use just one ecosystem. I will say that the OnePlus ecosystem was surprisingly really, really solid. I had the OnePlus Pad, and the idea that you don't have to turn on a hotspot and it just shares the data from your OnePlus phone to your tablet is really, really, really cool. Um, saw the picture. Bonnie, you saw the picture I posted yesterday. Um, was that on WhatsApp or let me know, like, what was that on? Um, so I've been chatting for about a half an hour here. It is about noon. If you guys have anything that you would like for me to chat about in upcoming live streams, and oh yeah, I saw the photo, the cell tower. Or if you guys have any topics you'd like me to discuss, I do discussion content on my tech channel. Here, just let me know in comments if you watch this on replay. Um, Again, check out the fundraiser stuff. Um, Feel free to share that. Super thanks in comments, super chats and live streams, memberships. Memberships can be had for really cheap. I think my lowest one was uh, like a few bucks a month, all the way up to like $10 a month, depending on the level of support you want to show with that. YouTube does take a cut, but that's all right. It can be something where you can be like, hey, I want a monthly support, and it's easy to do. And you don't have to think about it. You don't have to like create some separate account or trust any other website with like your information. Google already has it, and you can share it that way. I appreciate all of you for spending the late morning, early afternoon, or wherever you are located. Maybe it's part of your morning, maybe it's your evening, whatever time of the day. I appreciate you all spending that with me. Also, just let me know if you like these live streams. They're kind of chill and we can just chat. If you become a member, I will see that. If you do super chats, of course, those are, um, you know, posted. If you do become a member, I also try to remember to shout out my members in my videos and live streams. I actually need to check right now to see analytics, because I think I don't have any members currently. But if you do choose to become a member, my lowest is 2.99, and then there's 4.99 and 90.99 all the way up to 14.99. That's one pepper, two peppers, three peppers, and four peppers. You get different level things. Even the base one is available for member only chats, and I will, remember to give support and put your name at the end of my videos and mention in the live streams and the like. So that is super appreciated. Also, just watching my content to help build up my hours, subscribing if you haven't already. It doesn't cost you anything. It can, lets you know. Also, turning on notifications so when I do go live and post new content, that is done. And I really, really appreciate you all for watching. Peace. See you. Goodbye.